So Frank, can you please tell me what is your involvement here with Aqua Boracay?
Well, it's I don't know. To be very honest, I don't know how they got my name, but at some point, sometime 2019, there was a random call from a random number. I just picked it up. I don't normally pick up calls, to be honest. That's not in my contact list. But surprisingly, this strange number appeared, and I forgot the girl. I forgot the name of the person, and they said, I checked on your website. You were recommended to me strongly by, I forgot already who, I suppose a previous client of mine. Really, like the most random. It was almost too cold that it was almost weird, especially when you wake up in the morning. So I got that call, and then they said if I wanted to do Aqua Boracay. Obviously, I had to ask what Aqua Boracay was in 2019 because my point of reference here in Boracay would be the main beach, you know, the Discovery Shores of the world, the Shangri-Las, the Linds. So I thought, is this some dodgy hotel somewhere? Because I've never heard of it. I mean, I'm a regular visitor to Boracay. But then again, I said, okay, worthwhile exploring. Let's see. The office was at BGC, which is basically a stone throw away from where I was staying at. So I went to the meeting, and I thought it was a pitch of some sort. So I read it myself. I had my credentials. Just so happened that 10 minutes into me presenting the credentials, I was hired. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I didn't know any of them. Like, I didn't know any of them at all. None of the people in the conference room I would know prior to meeting them during that time. And basically, that's how it started. And then that's also how they knew the caliber of marketing prowess I have. Because at that point, it felt like Miss Universe. You know, we've gone to Miss Universe activity. It was an immediate, impulsive Q&A. What's your plan? What's your strategic plan? How do you intend to do it, etc. And everything just has to come out naturally. So I gave them a plan from like probably 1 second of pause, and then you continue, you know, telling them of what your plans are. And at the end of a 45-minute meeting, I was hired. That's how it started. So essentially, so they gave me a quick perspective of Aqua Boracay. So the initial marketing plan was obviously a function of what I saw on the brochure, while they were briefing me accordingly, like a simple brochure, etc., a little bit of like briefing. And then I said, there's a possibility of making something big out of Aqua Boracay. I remembered verbatim, I said, there's a promise, let's do it.
And what made you feel that there's something special about this resort and this location? I know it's the opposite side of the commercial area of what we know about Boracay.
All right. To tell you very honestly, it was gut feel. My point of reference was brochure and a little bit of what they told me, and I think I just have to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? Like if I am hired by a company to make something big out of nothing, from zero to hero, then I just have to do it. So I said, what are the merits of Balabog? What are the demerits of the other side? And then you do your own, you basically do your own marketing tactics, etc. So what I've realized is a good positioning for Aqua Boracay would be the better side of Boracay, coming from a premise where on the other side, which is the main beach, not to disparage them, but it has become too crowded. At some point when you stay in a place, for example, like Discovery Shores, you go out, everybody's there watching the sunset. Sometimes you don't feel the exclusivity of, you know, having to stay in a fine hotel. And then when I actually happened to come here, I saw that there were a lot of kite surfers here. I saw how beautiful they have rehabilitated the Balabog side. There's a beach walk that actually stretches the entire Balabog. The sand is actually very, very clean. The property is amazing, so I said, okay, this is the positioning, the better side of Boracay. That was the time when everything was still a vision. There was an infrastructure, but there was no Chef Chele, seafood by Chele. It was supposed to come in, and then there's this one store right there by the lobby. I said, take out all these like water and Boracay t-shirt. If you want to make it prestigious, remove them all. Because if you want Boracay t-shirt, if you want Boracay cap, you go to the Talipapa, you buy it there. You don't buy that in an exclusive resort. So I said, I've got a lot of friends, I've got a lot of contacts. So initially, we've spoken with Francis Libiran, and this is in the pipeline. Francis Libiran would be the very first fashion hot house couture that will have his own shop here in Boracay, and that will be made exclusive only at Aqua Boracay. There's the kite surfing, and in the process, we have partnered rather with the International Federation of Kite Surfers globally. We've hosted international kite surfing competition. Ergo, in the process, Bulabog has become the kite surfing capital of the Philippines. The vision is to make it the kite surfing capital of the world. We have a beautiful infrastructure such as this. We have Food by Chele, which is the first and only fine dining restaurant in the whole of Boracay, and it's also Tatler's Best very recently. So ergo, it solidifies the USP that we have created from the very start. You will be on the better side of Boracay if you stay at Aqua.
More exclusive, more private, less commercialized.
Yes.
Can you expound on or walk us through the other amenities that you have? I know I've heard from Tony, the owner of Aqua, that he's also buying a yacht.
He is.
Even a helicopter.
Correct.
Probably.
Correct.
To bring your guest here.
Well, it's not that he's gonna buy; he already has it. He has a private aviation, but we're naming it. He has private planes and he has helicopter. So this will be made exclusive to premier guests of Aqua. You don't necessarily have to go through the hassle of going to the airport. There's a private hangar for a private plane or a private helicopter. We call it Aqua Air. So that's an exclusive offer that we have for premier guests. Not to mention that we have the biggest suite, premier suite in the whole of Boracay. That's called Ibiza Suite. It's a 656 square meter suite with its own swimming pool, beachfront, that's that one. 3 bedrooms. All the furniture in that suite is all by Vito Selma. So it's amazing. Only top notch. Only top notch. At some point, I think it would have been last year, I've invited a lot of friends. So we gave it a test. I said, okay, we'll set up our own DJ, our own lighting equipment here, our own bar in the suite here. And then I invited 100 guests in a hotel suite, comfortably dancing and having so much fun. And then we realized this is the ultimate suite that they could only find here at Aqua Boracay.
So to discuss more about the type of demographics and crowd that you're looking at.
We want to cater more towards the audience with a discriminating taste. Primarily because if you look at our infrastructure, it's very clean, it's modern, contemporary. It's nothing like you would see on the other side of Boracay that's more traditional. Well, for one, this entire property was designed by Ed Calma, no less.
Yes. Amazing.
If you look at even the simplest the simplest detail of each of the rooms, our toilet fixtures are from like Brava. We have an espresso machine in each of the suites. I mean, that's something that's not readily available anywhere else here in Boracay. So we have Food by Chef Chele. People who actually want finer things in life.
Exquisite taste.
Exquisite taste. And then people who actually want privacy, because at the end of the day, look at this suite, for example. We're fully booked, 100% occupancy rate. But outside the event, you won't see them like scattering around. because the property is just too big. 1.4 hectares of open space for people to enjoy. Some actually you won't even see them, they just stay inside their rooms because their room is a holiday destination on its own.
I think that's one of the concerns of a lot of visitors of Boracay. It's a very popular island.
Correct.
Although from even all over the world, we're quite known for the best beach here, and the standards are pretty high. But when you go to the commercial side of it, it can be a bit of a disappointment. So if you really want exclusivity and privacy, I believe this is the other side that would really cater to that.
That is true.
So you're really in a very good spot here in Aqua.
That's why it's called the better side of Boracay. You have an international kite surfing competition happening here. You've got the best restaurant happening here. You've got the biggest suite here. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Last night you accommodated Miss Universe.
Right. So this is actually our second year of collaboration with Miss Universe. I remember last year, obviously, we were sort of still at an intro stage. So most of what we do in terms of communication was geared towards making sure that all the features on Miss Universe tackles on how beautiful the property is, the aesthetic side of it, etc. But of course, as we have evolved our partnership and Miss Universe organization evolving into becoming more of a platform to create positive change as opposed to just a mere beauty pageant, we also have to evolve as a partner when it comes to our participation. So this is the very first time that we've changed the paradigm of our participation with Miss Universe. Our first day was geared towards charity, nothing else. The girls didn't do anything but undergo all these like charitable activities. We are the very first hotel to actually come to the most remote areas of Boracay and really engaging ourselves with the indigenous tribe, with the Miss Universe community via their feeding program. We also did beach cleanup featuring the Miss Universe candidates throughout the stretch of Bolabog Beach. We also have physical and mental wellness advocacy that we did, all those on day one.
It's a perfect place to really just relax and really get away from the city.
So it's a different vibe. But of course, there will always be the glitz and glamour of Miss Universe Philippines. So the second night is the culminating night. There's the gala activity. There was, we hosted last night the swimsuit and fashion presentation. Where we also gave, this is actually a thing. This is really not part of the program, but we just want to be able to give luck to the contestants. So, you know, in the tradition of in the Filipino-Chinese tradition, we give ampaos to our top picks.
I witnessed that. It was an
right?
awesome event. It was
you know
a
what?
highlight, actually.
And I said, it has to be an ampao that has to be given to them, literally in an ampao.
Yes.
And you know what? It's really just for the kicks of it. It's really just for fun. But we made sure that what's inside the ampao is for each of the 8 girls is 8,888 pesos down to the last peso. Because 8 stands for infinity, luck, right?
Yeah.
So we're basically not just bringing them luck.
Yes.
So lucky that I remembered last year we started this. We gave 8 Aqua Angels. We appointed 8 Aqua Angels. And by the way, out of those 8 Aqua Angels that we have chosen last year, 5 of them were in the top 5.
Wow.
And then we eventually had to appoint one grand winner to be Miss Aqua Boracay. She only had one special award and she eventually became Miss Universe Philippines 2022. That was Pasay Celeste Cortesi. See, we bring in luck.
Well, I think one of the lucky features of this establishment is because of you.
Oh, no. Honestly, it's
I mean, to have the right team.
It's really a collaborative effort.
For sure.
To be very honest, I wouldn't have done this if it weren't for the team. The team is stellar here. The kind of collaboration we do, And the amount of respect that we have with each other, nobody's actually poaching on each other's territories. When it comes to marketing, when it comes to like social media, when it comes to like digital, anything and everything that has something to do with marketing, you know what I mean? I take the lead of that. Anything and everything that has something to do with operation, I'm completely hands off. What do I know about hotel operation to begin with? Anything and everything that has something to do with collaboration that's marketing related is within my turf. Anything and everything that has something to do with admin or financials, I wouldn't know anything about that. So everything is just performing at their peak. So that, when after the closure from COVID, that was around February of March last year. To tell you, in truth, around March after COVID, when we reopened, 138 rooms, 5 rooms were occupied. So we said, oh my God, it's such a struggle. But of course, we have to do what we had to do. We said we gave it a timeline of probably a year, 2 years before we can actually reach a 50% occupancy rate level.
And how did you perform?
In 3 months, we were averaging 80 to 90.
My God, congratulations.
I told you, everything is a collaborative effort of everybody. Good food, great ambiance, amazing service. Of course, marketing is basically just the
branding of it.
The branding of it. I'd like to believe that marketing is a bit and parts, just a small portion of like a greater scheme of things. Because at the end of the day, no matter how good your marketing is, if it's not backed up by proper service, by good food, by stellar management, then everything will just fall apart. But no, I think it's very whole. It's a holistic program that we did, and it was snappy. It had to be fast.
I think for very, very special events in one's life, like weddings, for instance, this would be a perfect venue.
True.
To hold it here.
You know what, Philip? I mean, I know this is not scripted, but coming from that, right after the Miss Universe campaign, our next campaign is geared towards wedding. So we already have. So, like exactly right after this Miss Universe campaign, our next campaign is more geared towards promoting Aqua as a wedding destination. We have all the materials, not in the pipeline, already. Push button mode. So yeah, so that's really the next step.
Well, for our last topic, perhaps, can you please invite our viewers in this awesome resort that you guys have here?
You know what, guys? This has been a home, not just for me, but for all our guests. To me, this is my second home. For the rest of our guests, this is their only home here in Boracay. So I would like to invite each and every one of you to come visit us here at Aqua Boracay. You can check us out at www.aquaboracay.com. And if you want to book, of course, there are a lot of platforms like Agoda, for example. Please, if you want your best experience to happen here in Boracay, no other place to be but here. Your paradise in Boracay, Aqua.
Thank you for giving me and the studio some time to interview you and to be able to tell the whole world about this beautiful party.
How can I say no to you? How can I say no to you?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The pleasure was mine.
My pleasure. Thank you.